Eight, seven, six, five, four, three, two, one. Welcome.
Good morning and welcome to this special streaming of the HCL Cyclothon in Chennai 2024, the second edition in Chennai, the iconic city in the south. The fourth edition of HCL Cyclothons after two in Noida and one in Chennai. This is the fourth one. There's the fifth one coming up in Hyderabad next month, but very exciting times as the professionals get ready. Time for me to welcome my fellow expert here, Lubna, to the streaming and looking forward to a great contest here and a great event promoting cycling around the country.
Thank you so much, sir.
This is going to be a very special event with more than 100 professional cyclists competing for the top prize in the 55-kilometer race. Beautiful location they've chosen on the East Coast Road in Chennai, just out of the city. Lovely location, very
Along the
scenic
ocean.
views, not very far from the Bay of Bengal as well.
So this one being one of the most beautiful roads along the ocean on the countryside, and I'm sure cycling on this road will be a great experience as well. But considering the winds and pressure coming from the ocean, what's the situation there today? That is going to be a challenge for cyclists.
I think having competed last year in the HCL Cyclothon 2023, some of them will be aware of what to expect, the challenges of the wind especially.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be pretty breezy, but a lovely day out here in Chennai on the East Coast Road. Beautiful course that they've chosen. Full credit to the government of Tamil Nadu and the city of Chennai for having made this road available. They've closed it for traffic for a good
Along
4
with
hours.
yeah.
I think unless you
Support of
got
the
that kind
traffic
of
police.
support from
Yeah.
the government, not going to be easy to conduct such popular events.
Absolutely. So there's a major role of, say, traffic police and the local police in organizing, such an event in open spaces, because there are masses and then they have to control and divert the regular traffic. Although we get lesser in the morning, but then there are people.
You can see that both carriageways have been blocked for normal traffic. You've got 100 men and 40 women getting ready to compete for the top prize in the professional category. These are all riders who have been nominated by the Cycling Federation of India. But before the race gets started, I think it's time for me to thank the government of Tamil Nadu, the Sport Development Authority of Tamil Nadu, the police and traffic police of the Chennai, Tambaram, and Chengalpat districts, the Cycling Federation of India, Mayajal Multiplex, which is our venue partner, not very far from where the cyclists are at the moment, Just Buy Cycles, which is our bike tech partner, medical partner HCL Healthcare, our media partner ABP Network, our sports science and medicine partner Sri Ramchandra Center for Sports Science, our technical partner Tamil Nadu Cycling Association, and the organic refreshment partner Akshay Kalpa Organic. Uh, all these elements have come together to ensure that this will be a seamless event in a scenic location and something that promotes cycling around the country. You need more such events, Lubna, for cycling to
Absolutely.
be popular.
So such events are again, giving a push to those people as well who are little, they're new to cycling, a bit hesitant in cycling on roads and coming out, because still there are so many people I come across who ask me how should I go on road cycling. I cycle within the colony. So these kind of events are like invitations to people and encourage them to come out, and when there is no traffic, they are open to ride in the roads, and then slowly they develop the confidence riding outside. So these events actually play a major role.
I think half an hour after the start of the professional race, you got to see the amateur race, which is also over 55 kilometers. You will see 1,000 and more participants there. And of course, the shorter race, the 24-kilometer race, begins an hour later almost, and then
Yes.
there is the MTB road race for amateurs as well, and to popularize cycling among the youngsters and everybody else as a way of living, as a way of as a lifestyle. You've got the green ride over 15 kilometers that starts at 7 o'clock. Very interesting day ahead, bright and beautiful day. With excitement. Tell me, Lubna, when you're lining up at the start, you're waiting for the start of the flag to go up. What are the thoughts that can cross the cyclist's mind at this point of time if you're a
So
professional cyclist?
yes, no, I'm not a. I'm sorry, I'm not a professional cyclist, but yes, I'm a cycle much a lot, and I've been to such events and I've participated in cyclothons and I've done longer rides as well. I'll tell later on. So when you are standing on the start line of such an event, so it is, in the first place, there is a lot of enthusiasm. Seeing your fellow cyclists and everybody is into high spirits and you are all ready to start up. So you are so full of enthusiasm and energy, I must say. There is a beautiful energy created with those lovely cyclists in colorful, vibrant jerseys and their helmets, and the atmosphere is totally different. And then you start with a very great energy while going ahead. Since in the professional race, yes, winning is a category, but otherwise people really enjoy cycling. I think we're about to start. I can see a lot of
They've got going
yeah, okay,
to
okay, this is
fireworks.
started. Yes, yes, beautifully started. Look at this.
I think you won't. This not so much a race as a criterion is what I understand. They will probably all be bunched together, and you might see the first 3 kilometers are they're just kind of warming up. I think the real track begins after 3 kilometers of a warm up for
Yes,
them.
and then the techniques people, they then once they've done half the way, kind of. Then they start putting up the techniques, the kind of gears, the set of gears they want, the set of posture they want. So these are something which they start putting in, because initial few kilometers are like they're fresh and enthusiastic, but then when the weather comes up, the sun starts to come up, and then they're getting tired. Then they start putting up techniques.
I guess it's all about conserving energy, of pacing
Absolutely.
yourself really well, and ensuring that you last the distance. 55 kilometers is a lot. and you got to ensure that you find the kind of pace
Indeed.
that sustains you over 55 kilometers.
Yes, to retain yourself. Yes, they really have to work out on conservating their energies, when to use more and less, and they have to be throughout because I think they're riding nothing less than maybe 30 to 35 kilometers per hour of a speed right now, assuming that, and they really have to maintain this.
It's got a good bunch of riders.
Yes.
Last year's winner is around. Um, you have Joel Santosh Sundaram, Vishwajit Singh is there as well. So many of India's leading cyclists are present. 104 of the men having taken the start. Going to be quite
Lovely.
interesting to watch.
I can see this cyclist who's leading, I guess, and he's also looking back.
I think it's very important for them to be also understanding of how and when to push, if it's a criterion or if it's just a mass start race. You will see them all trying to get their strategies right. I think some of them who are not experienced will push very hard in the initial stages. But lovely drone shot that
Yes.
showcasing us what Chennai is all about.
Weather seems beautiful there, but I guess temperature is slightly on a higher side today. It is about 26 degrees right now.
I think professional athletes, cyclists especially, will love this kind of
Open weather.
temperatures. The humidity, before the
Hmm.
humidity starts striking, just as well that they've had a 6 o'clock start. Uh, Very popular event in Chennai. Lots of people taking to cycling, and with the professionals showcasing their excellent skills. It's going to be a good day for Chennai and for cycling in the country.
Absolutely.
HCL, of course, has been a pioneer in the world of sport. Uh, we all know that bridge is very big with HCL, squash is big as well, and they've got into cycling a couple of years ago, starting with the first edition in Noida,
Yes.
and now they're spreading. They've gone to Hyderabad as well with an event coming up on the 15th of December. Registrations are open there. And but let's talk a little bit about HCL. It's one of those original IT startups from a garage. It's a pioneer of modern computing with many firsts to its credit, and was the first to introduce the 8-bit microprocess computer in 1978, well before any of the global peers got onto it. I think HCL has done really well to support sport in this country, and has been marvelous with what it has done for sport. Today, it is a $13.4 billion conglomerate, has been around for more than 70, nearly 70 years now, and has presence in various sectors, including technology and healthcare. I think it's wonderful that a corporate like HCL has stepped up
Into
and has supported
cyclothons.
sport like cycling, because everybody knows that marathon running is popular in this country, but a cyclothon is one way of ensuring that you get cycling to be even more popular as a way of life, maybe even as a mode of transport looked up.
Yes, so even even since I have been cycling since 2017, I learned cycling then only. But I have seen the developing and expanding scope of cycling among people. In those days, I used to see very less cyclists early in the morning hitting the roads. But these days, we see much more cyclists doing much longer distances when we travel outside Delhi as well. In the mornings, we see a lot of cyclists on the highways and expressways. Even locally, when you step out in Lutyens zone and other spaces in Delhi, you see a lot of cyclists and groups coming out. Even a few people are also using it as a commute, purpose of commute these days. Not only those, as a common man's commute, it has become more majorly to youngsters and young professionals as well coming. Even I used to travel to my office on a cycle. My office was about 15 kilometers from my house. I used to travel on cycle.
I think the consciousness has grown. Many state governments and cities have provided cycling lanes, uh, and they're looking after the safety of cyclists on the road. very, very critical that it is safe, and it's a very healthy way of commuting.
I must mention here when you said about the safety of the cyclists on the roads, we still need to go an extra mile on that. Seeing a few incidents in my cycling groups, we keep seeing incidents about people being hurt while cycling outside. So although we have dedicated cycling lanes, but still we need to inculcate much more awareness regarding cycling among the common people as well.
We're crossing a bridge. Uh, this is wide open space.
Beautiful.
The the rivers there getting coursing their way to the Bay of Bengal, and this bridge was
Yes, and
quite
the
a challenge
view.
because it's open and there would be a breeze there for the cyclists.
Yes, and the view looks mesmerizing. I'm sure the cyclists are having good time, along with yes, hitting hard on the roads, pushing the pedals to the maximum.
The good thing, Lubna, though, is I don't think there's too much elevation gain. This is a
And
nice flat
yes,
course.
yes, yes.
The cyclists will love it. The challenge on the calf muscles is not going to be as much when you're uh, challenged on inclines. I
Yes,
think it's a course that the cyclists will love. A good 7.5 minutes since the start, 7.25 minutes, beg your pardon, since the start. Lovely shot there again from the
yes,
drone, showcasing what Chennai, the beauty of Chennai.
yes.
Also, uh, what a lovely landscape that is.
Looks amazing. And I guess the road looks much more flat. I am sure there are no much elevations and it's more of a parallel road. So I'm sure cyclists may not have to push really hard for it.
This does look like a early morning cyclist was was kind of warming up for the amateur event, perhaps the one in front, but the bunch behind is the competitive lot that is fighting for a good amount of money, uh, enormous amounts of prize money being given
Yes.
away by HCL. The total amount committed is more than 33 lakh rupees, and the professionals are fighting for 15 lakh prize money, with the winner of the men and women. Good to see equal prize money being given away. The men and women both get, the winner gets a lakh and 20,000 rupees each.
That's beautiful. Even
And
that
if you
adds
finish
to it.
10th, you get to pick up 15,000 rupees, a good amount for an hour's hard work.
I guess.
I think it's terrific that HCL has looked at gender parity and has ensured that both men and women get similar prize money.
Indeed, that again is a great push. The prize money are always, since our childhood to this age, I'm sure everybody loves the prizes. And that's a great push as well, besides, cycling on this road.
I think the surfaces looks very even, not very challenging there. Cyclists will love that kind of a surface.
Yes, and I guess weather is also very much still. I can't see much wind, like, no tree movements are there. So I'm sure this is another relief to the cyclists.
Very important for them, as we now get ready for the women's race. I guess we this is where the start of we got back to the start line where the women will line up
Amateurs,
now.
55 kg.
You have some good competitors in the women's event as well. Last year's winner Khairam Regia Devi is there. Some familiar names like Meenakshi and Swasti Singh as well. Um, Winners who have done really well for India at
So
large.
we are back on the road. So I can see this one cyclist leading and rest are following.
Critical that this inspires a lot of people to take to cycling. This inspires youngsters who are watching the stream to take to cycling, not just as a way of life, but perhaps even as competitive sport. Um, A lot of hard work called for. India doesn't have too much success in the Asian Games on the cycling front, but we've got a number of good riders who have been ranked world number one in the junior category. Just a question of making the transition, ensuring that we start doing well at the international level in the senior category as well.
Yes. So we can see, I think this is bib number 15, and we can have the name as well, I'm sure. But this cyclist is really having a great time leading ahead. And that's the only cyclist who's leading, and rest everybody is just way behind.
I think sometimes cyclists tend to want to push the others. This
Yes.
could be someone who's part of a team strategizing to try and drag the others, setting the pace for them. Uh, there is also a team event where there are three men cyclists in each team, and sometimes this is race strategy where the leaders who will probably expend a lot of energy in the beginning will try and push the others so that they drain themselves out.
Yes.
Don't really know what's on the mind of this cyclist who's leading the pack at the moment, but super visuals, lovely scene there as they're heading out of the
Okay,
city
so now
proper and getting to areas on NCR where on the ECR as it's called, the East
ECR,
Coast
East
Road.
Coast Road.
Uh,
Yes.
they pass several landmarks, the MGM Disney World, and then the Sheraton Grand Hotel down the road. Muttukadu Boat House on the right as they passed, and there's a long way they go before they take a U-turn.
So yes, this time is only, it's one lap. It's like a round. The track it is for 55 kilometers. So there won't be any laps this time.
So it's
It'll be a to
27
and
and a
fro.
half up and
Yes,
27 and a
yes, yes.
half
This
down
is going to
loop.
be to and fro this
So
time.
it is how it is because you can't be blocking a lane, two lanes for more than 4 hours
Absolutely.
because you've got a number of events to complete. So 55 for the criterion for the professionals is a good distance. I think it's universally accepted. And so 27 and a half kilometers all the way from uh, the start point near
Yes.
Mayajal all the way going up to the Dhanlakshmi Srinivasan Engineering College and taking a U-turn there to come back.
Yes. I think they have come back on the start point again. So this is the time to begin the another category of race in another like 12 minutes.
We lost the stream for a
Visual.
moment. We
Yes.
know we'll be back. The challenge of modern technology. It does where you're dependent a lot on internet.
So, talking
It
about
does.
the number of cyclists, I think it has been increasing, and I'm sure this time it is much more. They started in 2023 in Noida for their first event, which attracted about 1,300 cyclists. And then this in the same year in the Chennai, they got 1,100 cyclists, and in the trailing second round of the event in Noida 2024, they got 2,500 cyclists, which is a major increase in the number of
I think you got to
cyclists.
see similar rise in Chennai as well this time.
I'm
From
sure.
600 amateurs, they've gone past 1,000 this time. And even the green ride, which is just over 15 kilometers, from more than 600 last year, it's gone up to 1,250. So it tells you that cycling is gaining in popularity.
Absolutely.
More
Cycling,
more than cycling, I think it is the competitive spirit that is gaining popularity, which is good for India, good for the sport, and what HCL has done for cycling is truly remarkable.
absolutely. HCL is really taking cycling to a next level and promoting this thing into the people by creating such events, which is a major landmark for the individuals as well.
The route map for you, taking you all the way from
So we can
Mayajal,
see, yes,
and that's the U-turn I was
and
talking about.
there is
Yeah,
this one hydration station, and that's the finish line.
I think the credit goes to the state government of Tamil Nadu as well as the Sports Development Authority of Tamil Nadu for and the police department, of course. You can see a number of them
A
on the
lot of them
sidelines
are there. Yes.
who are helping out that the course is traffic free. And this is what cyclists love. They can give up their best when they know that they're not contending with normal traffic.
Actually, these are the dreams for cyclists. So, get an empty and dedicated road to cycle, which we normally don't get in a day-to-day course. But yes, in such events, we do get a clear road. A normal course, when we cycle out on the road, we besides apart from concentrating on the speed, we really have to be uh, aware of traffic coming from both the sides, because not all the people who are driving on the roads, they're aware about the safety to the cyclists and the lanes and dedicated things, so they're not very much supportive. But then yes, we have to be very much alert about the traffic. But in such events, we get a free thoroughfare to cycle around and show some speed, which is a beautiful thing about such events, which also attracts more and more people to go to such events.
I think that's where the credit goes to the police of Tamil Nadu and the traffic police in the three
Absolutely.
districts of Chennai, Tambaram, and Chengalpet. You normally want to enjoy a race like this. This is a lovely shot. If you could have got closer, maybe zoomed in, you will see the enormity of effort that the cyclists are putting in on the saddles.
How beautifully they've spread across the road. I'm really loving to see this scene.
Nicely warmed up. I think it's getting a bit more competitive now as
Yes,
they're
yes.
pushing a little bit to ensure that everyone stays in sight of each other.
And constantly they're keeping a check on the cyclists behind as well, so that they can maintain the first positions.
It's also interesting that while it is a very individual sport, the concept of team does kick in, and because there is good prize money for the team event as well, people are mindful of what they can do together as a team. Uh, it's all about ensuring that all three of the teammates are fresh and energetic throughout the race, ensuring that they can have a lead over the others and do finish in a higher position than them.
Yes. So when we talk about teamwork in cycling, so there is a technique we use, there's a style of riding which we call drafting. So in drafting, all the cyclists they ride in a row, one behind each other. And then there are terms, and then there are some signs and signals which we show to the cyclists behind us, to if there are some hurdles in the road, if there are some speed breakers, if there is any traffic ahead. And that is how the first cyclist cuts the winds and rest follows.
I think it's
So it makes the entire team, it's like a smooth riding of experience for everybody, and it's an amazing thing. Even when you look from side, it looks amazing, and that is a combination of great coordination among the cyclists. That's a beauty of drafting on roads. Beautiful teamwork, that is.
it's a great event there, individual and team combination really, that allows cyclists to give off their best. Beautiful road, lovely surface, and a lovely day as well.
And a lot of greenery as well. I'm sure this is giving them some relief.
I think the sun is not yet out in full
Yes.
force. You can see gray skies. So I think the cyclists will welcome that because the sun can sometimes beat down quite harshly and can challenge you a little
It
bit.
really affects the speed as well. In early morning rides, when we ride early morning for long distances, the first half when we hit the destination, that is very smooth and very, less time taking. But while coming back to the first, my like, back to the first start point, that becomes little challenging because sun is up now. You need more of hydrations. Then
You just got to see a sample of what teamwork is all about. You saw them
absolutely
switch positions and the drafting that you were talking about, Lubna.
exactly these
You're
guys are
getting to see
drafted.
the two of them do it. They're taking turns to do it because the cyclist in front takes the wind head on,
Yes.
and the cyclist behind is actually enjoying being in the
He's
slipstream.
enjoying a
The
smooth
friction is not
finish.
much
Yes,
with the air, so you are able to conserve a little bit of energy. The
yes,
cyclist in front is the one who's challenged a
yes.
little bit more than the cyclists who's
And also
drafting behind.
considering, yes, the conditions ahead on the road, although this is a very smooth road, but in normal scenario, then there are hurdles and there are like potholes and then there is traffic. So that is a major coordination. It becomes, see now the another cyclist has taken the lead and this has gone at the back and these guys are drafting beautifully.
Uh,
And
this
they're into the synchronization, the cadence, look at their cadence, they're into one cadence. It's not that higher or lower, the cadence is beautifully maintained.
also critical that they seem to have opened up a big gap with the bunch that is behind, with the larger bunch
Yeah, we
which is
cannot see
lying
other
behind.
cyclists.
Uh, 21 minutes gone, a little bit more than that, but they're pushing really hard, the two of them in front.
So I guess other cyclists are taking some, they're saving on some energy, and we'll certainly see them all jumping inside. I'm sure, because that is the fashion these cyclists are following. I just saw there is the cycling who's leading, and then there are rest who are like taking rest, and then there is some but other cyclist who's taking the lead. So I think this is the technique these guys are using.
The Cycling Federation of India has done really well to get 104 men and more than 40 women competing in the professional category. Tells you of how popular cycling has become. A number of people who are on competing on a road race. You know that track cycling is quite popular in the country as well. There are 34 women rather than 40.
Okay.
104 men and 34 women. So good competition there. Um, Good number of people fighting for the 15 lakh prize money in the professional category. Cycling Federation of India's got all the entries sorted. It picked the cyclists to be in the competition and ensuring that uh, there is great visibility for the sport as well. We know that the velodrome, the track cycling is quite popular. There are a number of cyclists who do that, but road cycling can be so much more engaging, so much more visually appealing. Of course, the challenge of presenting that to you, and I'm sure the streaming partners, ABP network is doing a great job, as you can see, of ensuring that the lead cyclists are tracked and that we bring the best out
Here we are on the start point again.
of
Is
the amateur race.
55 kilometers of amateurs category, right?
This is the amateur race. Number of cyclists there has grown from 600 the last time to more than 1,000 this time.
People look so happy and excited. I can see the enthu and the positive energy out there.
There'll be a scramble for the start here because this is a hardcore race rather than a criterium where you pick up points at certain points of the race, along the race on the course. But this amateur race is a hardcore start to finish effort that is called for from the cyclists.
Absolutely. Still, we can see the two cyclists in the lead, and I cannot see the rest of the cyclists. I'm sure they're like picking up.
The amateur race, I must say, Lubna has been really spectacular in terms of the number of people who have signed up. 600 the last time, the first edition of the HCL Cyclothon in Chennai, but this time we've gone more than 1,000.
Which is beautiful.
Eagerly waiting to ensure
Yes,
that
almost about to start, I guess, in another 1 minute. A lot of excitement among people, but then I really hope the excitement stays till the end of 55 kilometers because prize money is good.
The number of registrations this time for the HCL Cyclothon has been very, very encouraging. So as you keep conducting events like this,
Yes.
more and more people join, and I think it only spreads awareness about the sport and ensures that the sport flourishes really well in the country.
Among the people. Absolutely. I agree totally on that. And I'm sure after Hyderabad, HCL is going to expand into other cities across India
They've already done well with Noida and
and Chennai.
with
Yes.
the NCR
Both the
in Noida
editions.
and Chennai now,
Yes.
Hyderabad being the third location.
First edition at Hyderabad.
I'm sure it won't be long before there will be a master series as well for the winners
Absolutely.
of each of these races, of each of the cyclothon, to come together and do a good job.
Okay.
Welcome back. The amateur race has got going, but we're back with the professionals up in the front. They have been cycling for a good part of half hour now, or the amateurs are still waiting for the flag off. Uh, Plenty of excitement and nervousness there. Scramble at the start. You don't want to be coming in the way of others. You don't want others to come in your way. The first couple of kilometers become very critical because it's a scramble out there. Even though this is a nice wide road, it can only take so many cyclists parallel to one another until you get to the front. As you can see here, the bunch is nicely spread out and there is breathing space for everybody. But this lot is keeping pace with each other, and it's kind of aware of the needs of what has to be done. The sense of game awareness is very critical. A couple of them have pulled away, as we've seen them sprint away from the pack. You can see a couple of riders trying to break free as well. They'll have to sustain their energies for 55 kilometers. The professionals do sometimes tend to wonder what's happening and why someone is breaking away so quickly when there is a long distance away, and some of them play on patience, Lubna.
A lot, yes. Yes, patience is another key to succeed in long distance cycling races, and you really have to maintain the body energies, which is a key to it again. So this has started 55 kilometers amateurs category, and people look really excited and happy. I can see the energies.
What I particularly like, Lubna, is the fact that some of the bikes have been available for rent as well. There are a number of bikes, like a triathlon bike or a time trial bike, available for rent, and then there is the MTB bike as well for those who are riding the MTB race. So of course the tires will become a key factor. It's a different tire that they use on the road rather than when they're biking on undulating terrain in the mountains. It's a nice easy start for the hundreds who are competing in the 55 kilometer race for amateurs, both men and women. The first 3 kilometers, as I pointed out, is the neutral zone where you're not pushing yourself very much, but you're kind of warming up, ensuring that you're getting ready for the actual race when it gets cracking.
Yeah, so when we're talking here about, I'll pick up that point of yours. Yes, when we're talking about the tires and the type of cycles, so here all the cyclists are on the road bikes, which again is meant for long distances and for high speeds. And yes, to make people more to give them a more encouragement to come to such events, even for those who are not having a cycle currently, but then after coming to these events they'll get more attracted towards it. So yes, organizers, they provide some bikes on rent on the event ground with the
This is a
helmets.
spectacular shot that was with hundreds of cyclists on your screen. Many
Beautiful.
others who are stacked up behind the rest of them are easing themselves in onto the course at the moment. This is the shot I was talking
Yes,
about. It's spectacular to see so many of them lined up, and each of them, like I said, this is the first section, which is a neutral zone where they're not pushing themselves, where they're kind of just getting their muscles warmed up, and then they get ready for the action.
yes, in another few minutes now, then they will get their paces and positions, and accordingly they'll move on.
The neutral zone ends at the MGM Dizzy World. Beautiful location again. And once they spot that start sign, they are able to ensure that they push hard and jockey for positions.
Absolutely.
Early morning walkers on your screen as well. People getting about doing the business, but I'm sure they will feel inspired when they see so many cyclists whiz past them. I'm sure they will feel inspired.
Definitely, and it'll also, again, that is again an awareness among the others passers by who still have not even given a thought to cycling. They definitely will think about it.
Truly beautiful to be able to combine the professionals and the amateurs. Some of the amateurs would have used the opportunity to have conversations with the professional cyclists and pick up a few tips. Sometimes conversations can be inspirational. You ask the right question of a professional and you get the best answers out of them. You then add that layer of knowledge to become a better cyclist, to become a better athlete. Conversations are always helpful if you know the right questions to ask of the professionals.
Definitely, it helps a lot. Besides practicing, having some information and input from the personal person who are already, riding on that level, who are professionals or who are experts into this. So the information from them, it helps a lot, because cycling, and apart from muscle strength, is a lot of mental strength as well. You really have to put the right trick in the place.
I think a lot of them also, Lubna, are not fighting for those top spots. They're not looking to make the big money. It's about the spirit of competition. It's about the spirit of showing up at the start line and giving off your best and ensuring that you're part of a celebration of sport.
Absolutely. So again, in the beginners and in the newbies, coming up at least for the event, showing up is also, it's very exciting and full of enthusiasm in them. And slowly over the period of time, they with the practicing, they move towards that
You could
expertise.
you saw the Bay of Bengal in the distance, a
Yes.
lovely drone shot with the sun also making its presence felt at this point of time. But I think the cyclists will feel very happy that the sun hasn't challenged them a little bit yet.
Yet, yes, yet we must say.
Beautiful to see hundreds of cyclists on the road. Lovely shot that from the drone. Of course, we are some distance from ensuring that cycling is as popular as the Tour de France, for example. But I
Yes.
think we're getting there with HCL taking the lead, ensuring that there is mass participation. There are fantastic cyclists from the professional lot who are competing. But I think the challenge is to ensure more and more Indians take to cycling and start taking part in events like the HCL Cyclothon, as we are seeing right now.
Yes, so more and more people are turning up over the period of years in every next edition, and I'm sure next year we're going to see even larger strength of the cyclists in all the categories.
Lovely location again,
Beautiful greenery
lovely
it
water
is.
body at the back, but
Yes.
this is the joy of cycling on the ECR in Chennai. It's a dream because this is usually a very busy carriageway, a busy highway,
High speed traffic road it is
and
indeed.
credit to the Tamil Nadu police and the traffic police of three districts, Chennai, Tambaram, and Chengalpet, for having ensured that this is traffic free and that you get to compete and give off your best for the cyclists.
Indeed, because see, this is one of the highways connecting the states together, and keeping this a major chunk of this highway or this road traffic free for these many hours is a task for police as well, controlling and diverting the traffics accordingly, considering the other people's convenience and giving our cyclists a beautiful track to ride on freely.
I'm guessing this is the professional bunch that we are with at the moment, and you can see them spread out a little bit. They're no longer as closely packed as they were. It's very remarkable to see them start to express themselves a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Don't go by the time that we're getting to see on the screen. That's the time since the start of the amateur race. But
Yes.
I'm quite sure that right now we are with the professional lot. What you're seeing on screen is the number of men and women cyclists who are out there competing for the top prize in the professional category.
They're still not half the way up the path, and sun has started to come up. So this is going to add on to the challenges of the cyclists.
Chennai as a city has been known to be a sports city. Uh, People are very aware. The citizens there follow not just cricket. I know hockey is a very popular sport. It's been the home to champions like Ramanathan Krishnan and Ramesh Krishnan, tennis stars from the years gone by. Uh, they've had some fantastic basketball players. The track and field stars are second to none. I think Chennai has been the home to a number of champions and hockey captain Bhaskaran, for example, the last captain to have won an Olympic Games gold medal, lives in Chennai. Uh, Very aware. People are they love their sport and they are great patrons of sport as well. So it's one of those iconic cities where sport is popular, not for the sake of being seen on screens, but for the love of sport. I think Chennai stands out as a unique city there for the love of its sport.
I agree on that. People showing up for this in these masses for such event, it shows that people have some dedication for the sports and especially for cycling, and this is increasing among the people.
It is a nice long carriageway uh, where cyclists are able to showcase their skills. That bunch is still hanging in together, most of them at least, in the professional category, which is nice to see. Very competitive as well. You get to see a lot of this, a sprint for a short distance, and then uh, the rest of the bunch is either deciding to stay back and wait for the right time to push, or some of them are feeling inspired enough to join those who are breaking free of that. Lubna, you need sponsors like HCL, you need patrons like HCL to support sport. Uh, you probably competed in the cyclothon here in Delhi, in Noida, couple of times already, and without this kind of motivation, without the kind of backing that HCL is giving the sport of cycling, it sometimes might be difficult to even visualize thousands of people taking
coming
part in an
together.
event like this.
Agreed. I totally agree on that with you. When you get such facility and ease of riding on the roads, definitely it encourages more and more people to come and join for the event, because so many people come with the thought that yes, we are going to get a better facility to ride on the road, minus all the traffic, which is not which doesn't happen on the normal course of day when we ride regularly. So yes, these are another highlight points to encourage more and more people to come and join for such events.
Also, when you see an event conducted so well, put together with love and care, with a lot of affection and respect for the cyclists, more cities can come forward. I think this can become a pan India event as well, the HCL Cyclothon, especially because where you see Noida and Chennai take the lead, Hyderabad now joining in just over a month and a half. Uh, More cities will probably feel encouraged to come in and support HCL cyclothons in their own cities.
Definitely, and that is going to be a major breakthrough if they come up in more and more cities, encouraging, especially, apart from the metro cities, we should also move on to tier 2, tier 3 cities these days, because a lot of development happening there as well, and people are coming up into sports. And cycling as a sport is emerging into India lately over a period of a few years. So yes, in India there was a very low stream trend of cycling earlier, but these days more and more people are into it and they're excited about it. Only apart from the milkman coming up on the cycling, it gives us that image from our childhoods. But these days more and more people are getting into it.
I think the uh, pandemic also helped a lot of people discover the sport of cycling, because there were a lot of roads were free that time. There was not much traffic, and people discovered the joys of cycling at that point of time. We've had a number of women as well break free. They've been able to change the um misconception that sport is predominantly for the men only. I think a number of women who have joined cyclothons is remarkable, and I think it's truly outstanding that what an event like this can do to a sport like cycling. Uh, Credit to HCL for having brought this together. While most corporates can simply say that we are happy to be sponsoring a sport at the elite level, HCL has got down to grassroots and has supported amateur sport as well. With 1,000 and more cyclists taking part in the event at this point of time, you know that cycling is catching up with even running. Thousands of them take part in the marathons around the country. Lakhs of them do. Cycling is catching up. I think it won't be long before we get to see a beautiful event where more than 35, 40,000 cyclists are there.
Absolutely. I totally agree on that. And I really wish to see such things coming up. And I agree on your point when you said post pandemic, people have really come up and take up the sports, as especially cycling and running, because that gave an opportunity to people to come across the empty roads and find their passions or maybe the skills inside them. So we have seen a grown trend of cycling and running outdoors post this event of a fateful event of COVID pandemic. But yes, this has given up a lot of strength and encouragement to people to take up into sports and other things.
It's also, I think, there's greater awareness with the internet making uh, information access easier. I think more and more people are becoming aware of their hydration, of becoming aware of their nutrition, becoming aware of the fact that they have to do their strength and conditioning before they start doing this long distance cycling. It is not a fad. I think it has become a way of life with a number of people. I've known school teachers and principals and artists and just about everybody from different walks of life step in and ensure that they become good cyclists.
I totally agree on that. People coming from all different races of life into this thing and coming up and finding their hidden skills of cycling and getting into it more and more and more in more numbers.
See, one of the things about an event like this, Lubna, is the fact that even we are not focusing on the leaders, on the outcome of the race. I think it's about the process. I think it's about the fact that how well each of the cyclists is able to put in effort, how much effort they're putting in, and how rightly they're doing that. It's no longer just about winners and losers. Obviously, at the end of the race, people will pick up their checks for winning the prize money. But I think it's important for everybody to focus, and that is what we are doing. We are not even naming the cyclists. I think this is the modern trend of competing, of ensuring that the process is followed, and and the outcome, of course, will take care of itself. But I think it's all about the process.
Yes, I agree on that with you. The correct process used is what takes you ahead and what makes you win totally. And in cycling, as I said earlier as well, it is a great combination which you have to put in together of your muscle power and of your thought process, putting up the right technique at the right time, keeping your body up as well. You don't have to get tired so timely while riding. Only you have to give yourself rest, you have to pace up and then you have to pace down accordingly, also maintaining that you're not lagging behind. So that is the beauty of cycling and racing, I must say.
I think you can see cyclists encourage each other, challenge each other, and ensuring that they are all maintaining that discipline of supporting each other and ensuring that the number of cyclists who are out there in the front is all beautiful, and they're taking turns at taking the pressure of the wind.
Correct. So I guess that is a relief today for the cyclists. uh, no heavy winds, but the sun has come up. People look happy in the amateurs category. I guess we are back there. People look more happy, enthusiastic, and so far the sun has not been able to tire them.
I think the challenges will come at a later stage. The sun will challenge them at a later stage. But what HCL has done is ensuring that the brand purpose of human potential multiplied is actually reflected in event that like this, where the cyclothon, everyone is showcasing their own potential. It combines the efforts of all the participants towards a sustainable lifestyle and a better environment. I think this kind of an event allows HCL and everybody else to create a platform for elite and professional cyclists to showcase their talent and inspire and motivate the younger generation to take up cycling as a way of fitness.
Definitely, definitely. That is again the highlight of these initiatives. So bring more and more people into the sport. Besides, yes, we can see the professional cyclists are pacing up and putting all their hard work into it. Amateurs are little at ease and they're enjoying the race, posing for the cameras, which is the main purpose of such event of HCL coming up with these kind of events, so that more and more people they get encouragement, they get to see this and come up into the sport, because that is again a healthy habit to be inculcated into the coming up upcoming generations.
You can see the slightly relaxed pace at which the amateurs are biking, and the hectic pace that the professionals who are on your screen at this point of time. You can see the difference. But I think this is truly an inspiration. It tells you that you could be the best in whatever you do, and if you can give off your 100% every single time you step on a track or on a road where you're competing, I think that the essence of sport being reflected both by the amateurs and the professionals.
Totally. So even if it is a race and there is this only one winner going to be a single winner, but it again shows a great teamwork among the participants, which is a great thing.
I think the amateurs truly reflect the spirit that if you're able to complete your 55 kilometers, you are a winner yourself. It's about completing the course, it's about lasting it, it's about ensuring that you finish the race. It's not always about winning. The amateur spirit is about being able to do really well, ensure that you have done better than the previous time that you worked
I
in.
totally agree on that. Yes, showing up and at least finishing is one of the great achievements in this. Only winning is not the one spot, but yes, completion is again an achievement.
Splendid effort there from a number of these amateur riders. We don't really know what their positions are because you're getting to discover more and more who are biking their way to the front. But with the number of cyclists, the 55-kilometer race category, more than nearly 500 of them competing. There's great joy in the kind of energies that you're getting to see on your screen. This is the beauty of the cyclothon. It's not always about the professionals. It's not always about those who are vastly skilled, who have got superb talent. It's about people who are making their best effort on any given day. I think the cyclists on your screen are truly representative of that. And here is that professional lot, which is pacing its way up in front and enjoying the race as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now we are back on the professional racers, and we can see they have not lost the speed yet, and they're all totally into the sporty mode so far.
Lovely track. Something that the cyclists enjoy. The free run with a number of cops from the Tamil Nadu Police Department standing there, ensuring that people are not crossing the road. The usual stuff that happens on Indian roads is not there at all. I think great effort from the Tamil Nadu Police Department.
Yes, this indeed is a great effort and a great support from the Tamil Nadu Police Department, and in their joint effort with HCL, providing such great situations and circumstances so that cyclists could ride easily without any hindrances, much hindrances on the roads.
Beautiful to see that. I think it's about number of pieces coming together to ensure that an event like this is a success. The police, of course, is one. The Tamil Nadu government itself has done really well, as has the Sport Development Authority of Tamil Nadu and the Cycling Federation of India, that have all helped the HCL Cyclothon group put together an event like this. I think it's about a number of things coming together, ensuring that things are really come together and successfully at that. I think the amateurs have covered more than 8 kilometers, and they're pacing themselves at about a little over 3 kilometers an hour.
Yes, they're pacing at around 18 to 17 kilometers per hour, so which is a suitable space for the amateurs, I must say. But they really must speed up a bit to about 20 to 21 kilometers per hour for the 55 kilometers race category.
I have to tell you the leader, but you know that Jai Ganesh, Gokul Gnanashekaran, Vijay Kumar, and all of them are doing a good job of helping of taking the lead. But we get information that in the amateur race, Neil D'Souza is in the front at the moment, along with Abraham, Sini Raja Singh, and J. Hari Krishnan. The leads will keep changing, obviously, over a period of time, and you would want to keep track of what's happening there.
So the professional category riders have also taken a U-turn. I can see that a bunch is coming back as well.
Since the professionals are competing in a criterium rather than a mass start race, very hard to say from here, Lubna, what the positions are, where each of them picks up a few points at certain uh, parts of the race. But in the very clearly in the amateur race, you've got a number of these riders who are doing really well. Done 16 kilometers now in the half hour plus that they've been out. The leads keep changing there in the amateur category, but it's the professionals. Right now, you're getting to see them in a nice large bunch. A smooth effort from all of them, sticking to the lanes, ensuring that they don't get to face too much of the wind.
Yes, and maintaining the beautiful cadences I could see in that previous drone shot. So that is the beauty of professional riding as well. So cadences are to be maintained to retain in that kind of a speed. Amateurs are going easy and they're enjoying and they're posing.
I think it's a lot of them are, like I said, we have been discussing this, Lubna. It's about giving of their best. It's about enjoying the day. Some of them are carrying their own hydration. They know there are hydration points as well, but they're carrying their own hydration.
Actually, that is important because we normally get pit stops in hydration point, but while riding, it is better not to stop for hydration. And they carry the bottle, and while riding, they just sip in some water, they hydrate themselves, and they move on.
I think it's critical also that they keep doing it because you have to be aware of the demand that your body is placing on you. Be aware of what the essence of sport and ensuring that you're not challenged at all over a period of time. Amateur category news comes in that Rajan is in the lead at this point of time. Neil D'Souza is lying second, and Abraham Sini Rajas is lying third ahead of Hari Krishnan and Vikram. Like we keep saying, leads will keep changing hands. Plenty of distance left to be covered, and there will probably a number of changes you will see at the top over a period of time.
Totally. So leads keeps changing, and let's see who leads at the end, who takes it to the end first, and rest follows. Either, as we discussed earlier as well, completion is more important for everybody. So that is more exciting.
That's the professional lot, which is probably on its way back. super to see the effort. Even from the distance in the air, you can make out that each of the cyclists is pumping the pedal the best he can, the best she can, and ensuring that you're getting to see a great effort there. Plenty of energy level, high, very high energy levels.
Still, yes, on the way back, they still have the energy levels on the higher side, and I'm sure it's not gonna get reduced till they hit the finish points.
The timing mats placed at 8 kilometers and 16 kilometers, and that's why we are able to give you news about what's happening on the amateur front. I think they're looking at net times for all of them because there has been that neutral zone, and you get to see great effort from the cyclists. Nice and relaxed, and greeting the viewers of the stream. So if you're able to do that, it tells you how much you are enjoying yourself.
Actually, yes, the this view only is getting me excited about taking my cycle and go out for a ride right now.
You can see some of them on your right hand side of the screen, having taken the U-turn and coming back. Back
Yes.
with the amateurs, who are nice and relaxed and enjoying their 15 seconds on the screen. Lovely to see them have a great time.
People are indeed having a great time posing for the cameras, and yes, they're having some good speed.
This is for people, if they're watching from their homes, trying to catch a glimpse of their favorite cyclist, of their family members or their friends. Um, a little wave always does help, and it does kind of tell you that all is good and they're enjoying the race.
Absolutely.
and second. Great to see this, Lubna, the kind of effort that you're getting to see on the screen at this point of time.
I agree on that, and oh God, that was an accident.
But the others power on. They have moved on and powering ahead of the pack.
Yes, I can see a lot of power on the screen right now. I am sure the professional category is nearing towards the finish point, and that has again added to the power and the force they're applying to it. And the sun has also come up, which again is one of the challenges. But I'm sure they're pushing it hard to the finish point at this moment.
The number of people waiting at the finish line to welcome the cyclists after the 55 kilometers grueling run. Meanwhile, in the amateur category, Rajan still holds on to the lead after 24 kilometers.
It's lovely.
Srivatsan Sridhar has moved into second place, and Uzeb Imtiaz is lying in the third place. 24 kilometers gone. They've done really well for themselves.
Oh, lovely. So I'm sure the amateurs category is nearing half the way on the track, and that again is nearing to a point when our third category of race starts in some time.
This is truly remarkable to see the number of professionals who are bunched together, and this is going to be a sprint for the finish now. After 55, nearly 55 kilometers, they've conserved themselves, and going to be a sprint finish for them.
And as the day is coming up, more and more spectators we can see, more and more viewers we can see, and cheering them as well.
A lot of these tea kadais, as they call the chai shops,
Oh,
that are on the side, greeting people. You can see people who are out on their morning run as well. This is going to be fantastic to see the finish. There's still a bunch which is hanging in behind, but you can see them all put in that extra effort as they get closer to the finish.
yes. So in races normally, or in events, in cyclothons or marathons, again, as there is an enthu when you are at the near the starting point and in the neutral zone, the same level of enthusiasm we get when we are nearing the finish point. And I can see that here in the professional category races right now.
Here, you can get stuck somewhere in the middle and not find a way through the bunch. So you got to be in the right position to be able to try and make that push. To overtaking is not going to be easy at this stage. So if you got to get caught in the middle, then probably you're stuck for position. But I think those who are broken free and those who are in the lead are able to put in effort, but they have the challenge of taking the wind on much more than those who are somewhere in the bunch, caught in the bunch in the middle.
Yes, making it easier for sailing smoothly behind them. But yes, all the oh, that's the finish line. We are near to it, and the professional category racers, they're they've hit the finish line. That's lovely.
It is a sprint finish for them, and many of them have understood that not possible to break free, and so they're quite content to stream in when they could. 55 kilometers of splendid effort from the professionals, the men and women, and lovely to see the kind of effort that they have put in and inspired a whole generation of youngsters to take to cycling.
That's a relief now for the professional category racers. And now the best part, collecting the medals for your race.
No. I think they will all love this. Whether you're a professional or amateur, to pick up a completion medal
That is the
Is
best part
truly
of it.
amazing. And I've known a number of amateurs who have a collection of these medals and who have done really well for themselves because they are inspirations. They might not be so-called household names, but in their own way, they are inspiring. They're supposedly ordinary people, but they're doing extraordinary things and inspiring the rest of the society to follow suit. I think you look around you, you will find a number of men and women who are inspiring others to play sport, to take to cycling maybe, or to take to running sometimes. And you're getting to see some of the outcome of that. People who have been inspired by others to take to sport and who are now inspiration themselves.
Totally, I agree on that. And I think here we are on our amateurs MTB race 55 kilometers, 24 kilometers. Here we are, starting point for it. That's amateur road race 25, 24 kilometers, the start point of it. Again, we can see the enthu, the energy, the excitement among the people, all set to start the race.
They will have a U-turn after just about 12 kilometers
Yes.
because this is going to be a shorter race for them. A number of them have joined the race as well, and it's going to be interesting to see how they themselves tackle the 24 kilometers on their MTBs.
And I assume these are the leads in the amateurs 55-kilometer category.
Nearly 300 of them have lined up for the start of the 24-kilometer race on their normal uh, competitive cycles, and there are nearly 200 of them on MTVs as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, that is the road race. I assume the name is after for the they can use the road bikes and MTBs both.
For them as well, the first couple of kilometers, there is a neutral zone where they're kind of warming up, after which there is a mat which sets off the start of the race proper for them. The first of the timing mats. So they will then be able to get their net times. And even if you're straggling at the start, if you get a good net time, you're able to sustain that. As we keep pointing out, Rajan, Srivatsan, and Uzaib at the lead after 24 kilometers on the stretch going up to the 32-kilometer mark. We know that there are at least 200 cyclists who have crossed the 8-kilometer mark.
Oh, lovely.
So, despite and even if they're cycling at nice relaxed pace instead of the frenetic pace that we're talking about.
So have we come up with an input? Who's the winner in the professional
It's
category
no,
race?
I think it's up to the Cycling Federation of India. It
Okay.
has its own way of telling us when and who's got the positions. So we'll wait for the Cycling Federation of India to make the announcement, Lubna.
Okay.
We can't be second guessing the winners from where we are, but it's going to be important that we bring everybody's attention back to the kind of spirit that Chennai cyclists are showing, the hundreds and thousands of them who are on the road, who are actually enjoying their day out in the HCL Cyclothon Chennai 2024.
So I guess 16 kilometers are covered in the second category.
We still have only people having gone past the 24-kilometer mark. We're waiting for news of what happens at the 32-kilometer mark. But here is the start of the 24-kilometer race. For amateurs. After this will be the start of the amateur MTB road race for 24 kilometers. It makes sense for them to have a neutral zone because people can warm up instead of having to push themselves too hard at the start. A good couple of kilometers to warm up and ensure that you're then ready to do the distance, whether it's 24 kilometers or 55, you're able to warm yourself up. I think it's very critical that people are able to do all of this.
Actually, warming up is really very important before, if it is a run, if it is a ride. It gives you a good start. If you do not warm up well, if you do not stretch well, you will not be able to perform that well. So it is considered to be very important to stretch and take a proper warm up and cool down before and after these activities. That is something very important and crucial as well.
A number of them have gone past the 32-kilometer mark. Srivatsan Sridhar is said to be in the lead. Sorry, it is Aaron George who's in the lead. Uzaib is lying second. Interesting speed that they've maintained. The amateurs who are competing in the 55 kilometer race. This is still the neutral zone, and that is why you're getting to see the marshals, and the marshals will slip away and allow the racers to get going with their kind of speeds. But beautiful to see all those yellow jerseys that HCL has given all the
Beautiful.
participants. I think it's important to for them to feel part of the celebration of sport, something to keep rich memories with.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful, vibrant color, and people are excited and thrilled.
They're still in the neutral zone, warming up all those on your screen as they get closer to the start line where the first mat is at the start of their 24-kilometer race. Truly creditable that the Tamil Nadu police and the traffic police in three districts of Chennai, Tambaram, and Chengalpet have provided these amazing facilities, ensure that the road is traffic free, to have closed down both carriageways so that cycling can go on and the people can compete without fear of oncoming traffic or overtaking traffic is truly remarkable. I think credit to the Tamil Nadu government, the Sport Development Authority of India, of Tamil Nadu, beg your pardon, and the police in these three districts for having ensured the safety of the cyclists.
Totally. So that is again a prime agenda to assure the security and safety of the cyclists on the road. Apart from the events as well, we really need to bring that kind of awareness among the common people as well, the people who are driving on the roads late nights, early mornings. We really must respect the cyclists on the road and think about the cyclist safety. Those who are cycling on the roads, we should give them clear pathways. Where we don't have the dedicated cycling paths, we should leave the left lanes for the cyclists. We to give them a heads up.
The 55-kilometer race for amateurs, Aaron George still holding on to the first place. Of course, there's not much to choose between him and Uzaib. Both of them probably going at similar paces of 34.7 kilometers per hour. Couple of other riders with similar pace. I think, in fact, eight of them having similar paces. Anybody's race from here after the 32-kilometer mark, but there's plenty of cycling left to be done in that 55-kilometer race.
Half the way they are, almost more than like about 35%. As the day is coming up, we can see more and more passers by, and sun is also coming up.
The first of the amateurs have just got past the 3-kilometer mark in the 24-kilometer event that they're competing in. And in the 55-kilometer race, they've gone past, they're probably closing on the 40-kilometer mark at this point of time. It's a safe and healthy way of living, and maybe even as a sport, your own health improves, and if you use it as a way of commuting to workplace, many countries have encouraged people to You don't want carbon footprints to grow, therefore you're encouraging them to take cycles. If your office space is within 5 kilometers of your residence, I think it makes a lot of sense for people to take cycles and get to work. To throw back in time, probably cities need to ensure safer cycling spaces. But if you can mark lanes, I'm sure people will find great joy in getting to work on their bicycles.
Absolutely, sir. I agree on that. We need some good and more dedicated cycling lanes, although we have a lot right now in so many cities, including Delhi and Chandigarh and other beautiful cities. And more dedicated cycling path will encourage more and more people to commute with cycle rather than only for morning evening rides. We should think of considering it as a commute mode of commute.
The interesting part is that the first 3 kilometers of neutral zone, you could be lying anywhere, but if you're jockeying for positions, you needed to be getting there because the gun time started with the first of the cyclists crossing the 3 kilometer line, which is the neutral zone. After that is when they're able to pick up the race pace. This is the start of the MTB race over 24 kilometers. We're lining up the cyclists there at the start line of the 24-kilometer race.
Lovely, lovely.
The mountain terrain bikes are typically designed for undulating terrain, but with the change of wheels, I think many of them are able to again bring the joy of MTB biking onto the road of the ECR in Chennai.
Yes, with putting little more efforts for riding an MTB, people look more happy, more excited.
Like we've been saying, the neutral zone is where you can warm up, where you know you're getting the muscles all warmed up, ensuring that you don't have a problem with that. You can see the marshals in the front on the bikes with the red flags, not letting the cyclists go past them because they want them to be
In the neutral zone.
in the neutral zone. You're not racing, but you're actually warming up. But this bunch in front is very clearly the ones with the intention of pushing for the first, second, and third places, so that they take the gun at the start, and then they keep pushing forward at a faster pace. There's still the neutral zone, and still warming up is the process that they're following, but they are all in position to be able to break free of the bunch and find the right kind of pace. Calls for a lot of spirit, a lot of willpower to be able to join a bunch of competitive cyclists and hold your own and ensure that you feel that you've given off your best on a given day. It not everyone who can emerge winner, not everyone can finish in the top 10, but it's about being able to complete the course in a better time than you thought you would, Lubna.
Yes, sir, that is something I really appreciate, and I consider that showing up and finishing is an award in itself. I must say, because I coming from a journey from started to learn balancing a cycle, and then doing a 366-kilometer ride within 3 to 4 months of it. So yes, showing up and finishing is a great award in itself.
Meanwhile, the amateur 55-kilometer race is just past the 40-kilometer mark. Number of them are clocking 1 hour and 2 minutes, and as many as 32 of them are in the 1 hour 2 minute range. So it's a nice tight bunch that you're getting to see in the amateur race for over 55 kilometers, but with just over 10 to 15 kilometers left, you can be sure that they will try and push themselves up. I think it was the winner who was posing with his bike at the
Seems
finish line,
like.
the winner of the professional race. Don't have a name yet. Still in the neutral zone, the MTB cyclists. I think the greater joy you will get to see over the last in the last event of the day, which is the green event. Lots of youngsters will be there for the 15 kilometers of biking. Great fun to watch all these cyclists get into position as they close in on the start line of the 24-kilometer MTB road race for amateurs.
Totally agreed. So that again is a very sensible thing, having categories in the race, so that you can invite all the people from all the races and age groups to come for the race rather than only having professional amateurs thing. So I think Green Ride will have a lot of youngsters, and I am assuming a few aged people will be there a part of it. So that will be a great sight to see.
I think the 55-kilometer race is probably closing in on the 50-kilometer mark. But at the moment, when you look at the amateur road race in the 24 kilometers on their hybrid cycles, they've just got past the 3-kilometer mark with Venkatesha Kumar and Jagadish in the lead. Too early to say anything because 24 kilometers is a fair distance away. But go back to the 55-kilometer race. As they close in on the finish, there'll be a number of cyclists who are all close together, and they can probably sprint away in the end and try and get a victory.
The weather still seems pleasant and keeping it good temperature for the cyclists and good conditions for them to keep the speeds up.
I think as the day wears on, we've seen a 55-kilometer professional race. The 55-kilometer race for amateurs is also drawing to an end. It's closer to the finish rather than at the beginning. The 24-kilometer race is on, and there is just one more 15-kilometer green event for youngsters as well, and for those who are in it for the fun of it. Credit to HCL for having inspired all these people to be out on the road today and on different bikes and ensuring that they are able to express themselves just as well as they can. HCL, of course, has been pioneer in technology. As a garage startup in 1976, it's risen to being a 13.4 billion conglomerate with offices across the country and inspiring people to play sport like squash, bridge, and cycling. The fact that they've taken on a mass sport like cycling speaks volumes of the intent of HCL as a group. Uh, it has got three companies: the Infosystems, Technologies, and Healthcare. Three different companies coming together as HCL Group and ensuring that sport is supported. And to pick up a sport like cycling, I think HCL has done really well because got great potential. This country's got a number of youngsters who can go out and do well for the country as well.
I'm sure they're going to shine on the international platform as well. And there are like so many academies right now who are training the students in the cycling with more techniques and for a higher speed races.
The,
So
the first of the cyclists has gone past the 48-kilometer mark, just 7 kilometers left for the finish of the amateurs 55-kilometer race. Beautiful location, lovely road, lovely course that the HCL team has picked for the cyclists. Very picturesque as well, not very far from the Bay of Bengal.
These cyclists are trying to raft on their MTBs.
I think the challenge is always to keep pace with the front runners, try and identify the effort that they're putting in and appreciate all that they're doing.
Which is actually commendable. And these two cyclists are showing great teamwork, taking leads turn-wise for drafting. See how the set of gears and the size of tires matters on the pedaling cadences. We can really clearly see this in here.
Tough to figure out how many of these are from the 24-kilometer category and how many of them are from the 55-kilometer race. Get a close look at the bibs. Perhaps we can figure out if they're 55 kilometers or 24 kilometers.
These seem like I can assume these seem like from 55-kilometer category because people riding in 24-kilometer category are slightly laid down and going at an ease.
As we keep pointing out, it's about the joy of effort. It's about what you get to see, the energy levels of the sustaining that they're able to do all of that. That must not be a competitive cyclist because you could figure out that there was no helmet on the,
Yes.
so probably not a competitive cyclist at the, not a part of the cyclothon, but feeling inspired by what she's seen today.
Probably. But again, expecting safety from the passers-by, we as a cyclist should also consider all the safety gears before hitting the cycle on the road. Yes, helmet indeed is something very important. We must not ride out without one. People have come up on the roads for their local commutes.
But just as well that they're sticking to the extreme left lane and not impeding the cyclists who are probably going to come streaming in now closer to the finish of that 55 kilometers race. So little to choose between the two of them. There's probably going to be a fight to finish for them.
Yes, but they're showing a great teamwork so far. And then they are putting in continuous efforts, which is lovely.
It could be the contrary as well, Lubna. I guess as competitors, the one who's riding second is making the most of the effort that the first one is putting. At this point of time, it could be more competition. The one in the front is hoping that the other will slip away sometimes and make the most of this. It might just boil down to the last few hundred meters, where whoever's got more energy to sprint, pump the pedals faster, will probably cruise home. Or it could be the stragglers in the 55-kilometer race. uh, for professionals, they probably slow down a lot. Very hard to figure out
Which
if they are leaders in the amateur race or stragglers in the professional.
actually. So, sometimes the color of bib defines, but in cycling events, since people are riding and bent over to their bibs, it's tough to see the bibs and the
Not very
colors.
easy from the studio to figure out. You would want a little bit more, but like I keep pointing out, Lubna, it is more about the joy of effort. It's more about what you're getting to see in terms of the spirit of competition, the spirit of participation that each of them has brought in. I think it's important for cyclists at all levels to be working on their own safety, ensuring that they've got their helmets on, given the fact that roads are not the safest places for them, especially if you're on your own. Best to be armed with protection, and helmets are the least protection that you can give yourself. I think critical that everyone understand that. And so
Absolutely.
this is
So,
a mix of people who have turned at the 12 kilometer mark and the 55 kilometers racers, the amateurs. So you're getting to see a mix of them, those who are competing for 55 kilometers and those who are competing for 24 kilometers, over 24 kilometers. I think they're all pulling in at certain points. You're getting to see them all together.
yes, so now the cyclists have been mixed up. So they could only be identified with the bibs and the chips on the bibs, which once beeps when they finish the sensors, then they hit the sensors. So from the studio, yes, it is tough to say which category is like which cycle it is.
A number of them have crossed the 48-kilometer mark. Just 7 kilometers left for them to get to the finish of the 55 kilometers for amateurs on their road cycles or the hybrid cycles. You can see them all sprint to the finish. Abhishek Chaudhary and Akhil Kumar have gotten among those who are in the lead, as has Kiran Raju and Srivatsan Sridhar. Terrific effort. I think this is what the theme of the day has been, for people to compete the best they can, and give the best effort, and ensure that they show up on the course and do everything possible within their energy levels, and ensuring that they stay on the bike, stay on the course, and complete it to the best of their abilities.
Totally. And here we can see a mix of 55 and 24-kilometer riders, slightly go easy going 24-kilometer riders, and 55-kilometer riders are like hasting to hit the finish line in time, or just at least trying to finish with the energy and the speed.
The IT hub, I think this is the area where a lot of IT companies are, not very far from this ECR. Lots of people have migrated from the city into the suburban areas. This bunch must be the 24-kilometer MTB, which is on its way out, the first 12 kilometers. That bunch suggests that the race is just about warming up.
Seems like, yes.
There have been some mishaps, part of sport. Not everybody is going to be able to stick to the saddles. Some of them will, there will be spills and thrills in a race like this. Good to see that effort.
Yes, people are excited and they're putting efforts in. What category is that? Could you make out, sir?
Very tough to say that, Lubna. But it's always a joy to see so many cycles bunched together. The rhythmic effort from all the riders, except one, like this one is breaking off, getting off the saddle, the others following in hot pursuit to ensure that the gap is not too much, because playing catch up can become very difficult for them.
People are cheering them as well. So, okay, they hit the finish line. I guess this is the end of uh, what, 55 kilometers?
I would not stick my neck out, Lubna, and do second guessing, because it is tough to find out because the races have all mixed up. There is the 55 kilometers that probably finishing. A number of them are finishing the 55 kilometers. Number of them are in the 24 kilometer amateur race as well. So there would be a number of cyclists. Not all professionals would have finished at the top, but this is truly a remarkable event in terms of bringing everyone together, the men and women competing alongside rather than separately. You can see that teams from Karnataka Police have all finished this race, and you've seen a number of them who are professionals probably coming in to finish. They're probably the professional race for women, which must have started slightly later than for the men. Just finished there. This is why digital technology helps. The RFID bibs that they've all been given ensures that the race results are fair and square. That while they might all seem to be racing together, their times are taken into account, and the right kind of prizes are given to the right people. You can see the bibs, they've all got RFID tags inside them. The cyclist bibs have got this tags that can help the organizers find out the exact time with which each of these cyclists have completed the course.
Exactly, with the sensors on the pit stops.
You can see Chennai has got busy. More and
Yes,
more people on the road now. This is what makes for spectacular visuals. You can sense the energy of that bunch that's hanging in there together and ensuring that you will get to see a great finish.
Absolutely, and I can see them riding on a higher speed of about nothing less than 30, maybe at this point 30 to 32 kilometers per hour kind of a speed they are on right now.
Even the 24-kilometer race has gone past the 17-kilometer mark. The ones who started on their road race cycles or the hybrid cycles, while the MTB bunch has crossed the 8-kilometer mark.
Lovely, lovely. So they're nearing the finish, the 24-kilometer category people.
You're getting to see great quality of riding from the cyclists. Number of them have the professionals have completed the race.
Yet another bunch on the finish line.
There must be such joy to be able to cross that line at whatever number you are, whatever rank that you might get, but to be able to complete the race itself is quite praiseworthy, worthy of credit, given the challenge that the course sometimes presents.
Totally. Coming across the finish line, it gives a joy to the rider, irrespective of the number you are on. And frankly, telling you, sir, uh, it actually, it doesn't affect the spirit of the cyclist, the number of, the number they're hitting on the finish line. But coming across the finish line itself is an achievement.
Number of them have completed their 55 kilometers. As many as at this point of time, 35 or 40 of them have completed the course. Terrific effort over hour and 25 minutes for them, nearly an hour and a half, 90 minutes of cycling, and they've done the 55 kilometers. The 24-kilometer amateur race also is probably inching towards a close. They've already done theirs on the final leg of the 24-kilometer course for them. Sheikh Bashir and Rajesh Jadhav, Santosh are all doing well for themselves in the 24-kilometer race. And in the 55-kilometer race, Rajan Smith, Surya Prakash, and Harsh Pawar, Kiran Raju have all finished in the top 10. Akhil Kumar as well, Karan Kumar, and Rajendra Kumar. The attention shifts to the 24-kilometer road race. The MTV cyclists have got past the 8-kilometer mark, while the hybrid and road cyclists are inching closer to the finish line. Chennai has been very welcoming of the HCL Cyclothon 2024, just as it was of the previous edition of the cyclothon. To have closed the two carriageways for a good part of 4 hours on a Sunday morning, a very important carriageway that connects Chennai to Mahabalipuram and Pondicherry. To have closed that for 4 hours is very praiseworthy. Thanks to the Tamil Nadu government, the Sport Development Authority of Tamil Nadu, as well as the police from the three districts of Chennai, Tambaram, and Chengalpet. The Cycling Federation of India, with its technical inputs, and the HCL have come together to present the HCL Cyclothon Chennai 2024. But it's the credit of the people of Chennai, who are the true stars of this event, for having come out there in large numbers and more than 1,000 cyclists today. Terrific effort from them all.
Absolutely. So, in the first place, yes, it is the people who are turning up for the cyclothon, and secondly, it is HCL for organizing this. So, there is a great effort of HCL and the people of the Chennai.
The MTB cyclists also have got past the 70-kilometer mark. Quite frenetic pace that they have set themselves. The road cyclists and the hybrid cyclists have done just over 38.3 kilometers per hour speeds, whereas the MTB cyclists are just a kilometer short.
Here, the finishers greeting each other and cheering it up for them.
To be able to ride a course like this is a joy. The cyclists probably get on this course every day, those who train in Chennai, but to get a free run like this is is immensely joyful, and I'm sure that they're able to make the most of the opportunity to race on a free road rather than one with traffic today.
Agreed on that, sir. Because the traffic movement on the side, it really affects the speed and concentration of a cyclist. And getting this kind of a thoroughfare is an addition to the speed.
Those are teams that probably have won the team championship or picked up a team prize in the 55 kilometers professional category. Again, despite it being such an individual sport, if there is team success, there is great joy. We got to experience that with the chess players, individual players who won the Olympiad gold medal, men and women for India. Very, very individual sport, but you got to see the joy of teamwork when one is standing up for the other and backing the other up, and to be able to deliver good quality results. You're getting to see that in cycling as well, individual effort accumulating to get points for their team so that they can pick up the team prizes as well.
Absolutely. Again, we can see the joy of finishing on the riders' faces once they hit the finish lines. Yet another bunch coming towards the finish line.
From what we can make out, Sheikh Bashir has won the has finished first. Okay, I won't say won because we'll have to wait for the official results. Sheikh Bashir, Rajesh Jadhav, and Santosh have got the top three positions. Finished the first, second, and third. We'll have to wait for confirmation of results. And in the MTB race, Ismail and Aman Jaipur, as well as Pankaj Kalbende, are leading after 17 at the 17-kilometer mark. We'll have to wait and see how the rest of the event pans out. With the flow of information coming in, it's not always possible for us to point out the winners of the men's category and the women's category as well. But where you're seeing women also put in similar effort and pursue the men, challenge them sometimes, it's truly wonderful uh, reflection of where the sport is and how it has evolved over a number of years.
Agreed on that, sir. And the green ride is going to start in some time as well.
So many lessons to be learned for people who are watching this live stream of the HCL Cyclothon 2024. Uh, One is the joy of effort. Two is the kind of preparation that you want to get in before you start competing, or being able to complete the course. I think it's very critical if you're in the 55-kilometer race to be able to ensure that you're in the best of physical and mental shapes to be able to compete there. And even the 24-kilometer race, not very easy because it seems a shorter distance, but when you got to finish it in about half an hour and give it the best you can over that period of time. More and more finishers coming through at the finish line closer to the Mayajal complex, who are the venue partners for the HCL Cyclothon 2024. Talking of partners, I think this is also a good time for me to thank the Cycling Federation of India for being a major partner of the HCL Cyclothon, the Mayajal Multiplex, which is a venue partner, Just Bicycles, who are the bike tech partners for the event, and HCL Healthcare, which is the medical partner, ABP Network for being the media partner, and Sri Ramchandra Center for Sports Science being the sports science and medicine partners, as well as the Tamil Nadu Cycling Association and the Akshakalpa Organic, which is the organic refreshment partner. We've talked about, of course, the government of Tamil Nadu, the Sport Development Authority of Tamil Nadu, and the police of the three districts of Chennai, Tambaram, and Chengalpet. It looks like the 55-kilometer race for amateurs has been won by somebody who signed up rather late, but with Rajan, Surya Prakash, Harsh Pawar, and Kiran Raju and the likes finishing in the top 10. It has been a pretty high quality competition where everyone's clocking in the region of 1 minute 25, 1 hour 25 minutes for the 55 kilometers, averaging speeds of 36.3 kilometers. A number of them have done 36.3 kilometers, split only by the barest of margins in the at the end. Uh, the top 25 or so cyclists have all got 36.3 kilometers speed and have pace of 1.39 kilometers, 1.39 minutes a kilometer. So many of them, nearly 40 of them. I think it's great to see the kind of competition, great to see the kind of quality that we've got to see on our screens today, Lubna.
Indeed, sir. I must really appreciate the kind of energy people are still holding up for riding for over an hour and for all those kilometers. I can see the relief people are showing after the finishing line.
Number of the hybrid and road racers finishing the 24-kilometer race as well. As many as 30 of them have gone past the finish line. It won't be long before the MTB bikers also come to the finish line after the 24 kilometers race. Men and women, young and old, have all put in so much effort. Wonderful to see that in Chennai and on the screens wherever we're watching the live streams. This is a great effort from the crew that has tracked the race, that has ensured that the best efforts put in by a number of riders are showcased on the screen. It's not only about the winners and the top five finishers or the top 10 finishers. It's about the effort that everybody is put in, trying to showcase how it's all happening. At the MTB bunch, which is sprinting to finish, number of them so closely bunched. with just a kilometer or so left for the finish. You can see them try their effort. Some of them have not been able to pump it up because their muscles are weary. The hybrid cycles and road cycles, some of them still finishing the race, as the MTB bikers also stream in to the finish line. Having started a few minutes later, they're probably catching up on the stragglers of the road and hybrid cyclists. The first of the finishers in the MTB cycles was Ismail. Momis Ismail got a time of 33.18 minutes, 33 minutes and 18 seconds. Good effort overall from a lot of them on their different equipment, each of them picking a cycle of their choice, whether it's the road bike or a hybrid bike or the MTB. But all of them showcasing the joy of effort, showcasing the magic of human endeavor.
Absolutely. And then we also came across some great teamworks, which we witnessed in here today. Despite this being a race, but people were doing teamworks.
There's so many of them who does it for whom it's not very important that they finish in the top 10. It's about giving of their best. It's about ensuring that they have a time which is better than last year's. But more importantly, they're listening to their bodies and ensuring that they don't have to push it to so far that it's broken. I think it's critical to hear the signals from the body and respect the body so that you don't suffer injuries.
That's more important.
So we have news that it is Kavish who's finished first in the 55-kilometer amateur road race, and
Lovely.
Neil is second. Kavish had a net time of 1 hour 25 minutes, 49.553 seconds, whereas Neil, who finished second, had a time of 1 hour 25 minutes, 49.794 seconds. They both split only by two hundredths of a second, two thousandths of a second, in fact. Great, great to see that kind of effort. This tells you age is just a number, and that you could be, if you're aware of what your body is capable of, giving it the best shot you can. More MTB bikers toward the finish of the 24-kilometer race. Of course, a number of them have finished already. Like I said, Momis Ismail finished in 33 minutes, 18.913 seconds. Dhananjay is finished in 34 minutes, 19.414 seconds. And Ayush Negi finished in 34 minutes, 19.451 seconds. A number of them are still out there on the road. The early riders have got past the 24 kilometer mark at the finish, and there are so many others who are just coming in to the finish as well. Been a great effort from a number of them who've competed over 55 kilometers and 24 kilometers, different bikes, men and women, and you can still see the smile on the face despite the distance and the effort that she's had to put in.
Absolutely. We can see the energy and happiness on her face so clearly, and people are enjoying the rides.
At this point of time, even as we are speaking, we can figure out that as many as 75 of the riders who took part in the 55-kilometer amateur race have completed the course. And in the 24-kilometer race, you have had as many as 74 of them finishing in on their hybrid bikes or the road cycles. And the MTB bikers, as many as 21 of them have finished the course. Number of them have picked up their finishers medals. We'll await formal word on who has won the event. So what are the prize categories for different age groups that are given up? The team winners as well. So there is time for that. But until then, we celebrate those who are on our screens, still giving in their effort as they're heading to the finish of the respective races. Lubna, people draw inspiration from one another when you're bunched like this, irrespective of what bike you're on. You're probably motivating each other and pushing each other to give of their best.
Indeed, we do that when we are on the road and cycling in groups along with other people. When we see, even if sometime I lose some motivation or I get tired, my fellow cyclists, they really motivate me and push me, and it really adds up to your speed.
I think people make friends. Complete strangers come together sometimes because they are similar pace. They come together and become friends for life. This is what sport is about. You meet people who you're not familiar with from different parts of the city, from different parts of the state or the country. And when you're able to match pace, you're able to even have conversations sometimes and pick up friends. And that's the beauty of sport, that it spreads friendship, respect. In the pursuit of excellence, you're able to find the value of friendship and respect. That that's truly amazing. It's one of those um, three of those pillars on which Olympic values are based on: friendship, respect, and excellence. And you're getting to see all of that in a race today at the HCL Cyclothon
I
Chennai 2024.
I agree on that. Yes, when we make friends, when we ride outside in the groups, and people from totally different fields of life coming in together. So have I made so many friends, from different professions, from different fields, from different places. And yes, that is the beauty, that people motivate each other and they cheer each other and they enjoy making them ride faster and go up on the speeds and more on the distances, and we get different motivations from different people. That is the beauty of sports and riding together.
You can see sometimes that you feel broken because 55 kilometers seems a little too far, but along comes someone and who pushes you and nudges you to the finish. And I think that's the beauty of the magic of sport, where you are able to find a second wind, a fuel in the form of a friend who you don't know. I mean, somebody who comes along and nudges you to push a little harder so that you get to the finish line rather than give up. You're not broken, you're inspired to get on to the finish line.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think every time you're pumping the pedal, you know you're getting closer to the finish line. Sometimes slight inclines can even be challenging. But when you see a bike in front of you or see a bike alongside you, you feel motivated enough to push that little bit harder and go on to complete the course. Yes.
Absolutely.
You're celebrating the fact that you're giving your best, celebrating the fact that on a given day you're able to deliver the best performance you can, irrespective of where you finish. It's about how well you're able to express yourself through a sport of your choice. And cycling is truly a remarkable sport. I think more and more Indians are taking to cycling. We've seen the number of cyclists grow, the number of competitors grow in even in the Chennai Cyclothon, nearly double from last year. Great effort from the organizers, but even a greater effort from the cyclists themselves because they know they can be counted. They know they are among those who are celebrated.
Absolutely. Even in previous and current edition of Noida Cyclothon, we can see there is an increase of almost double the number of cyclists. So I think here we are in the start point of the green ride 15 kilometers.
This is another massive number of cyclists who have queued up along the road. It's going to be a fun event.
And I think this is the last category starting up for the day.
It is, but the good thing is that you get to see a number of them vie for prizes. They're not fighting for prize money as such, but they're fighting for a,
For the
a good
completion.
finish, and like we've been saying, giving their best effort.
Indeed, indeed. So as you said only, sir, I'll pick up that line that everybody doesn't comes in first place or first 10 places, but yes, showing up and completing it is more. It's a trophy in itself.
It's a beautiful sight, isn't it? That road
Absolutely,
full of eager
cyclists.
cyclists,
And then
everyone wanting to give the best they can. Of the prize money that I talked about, Lubna, very important that of the 33.6 lakhs that's been earmarked by HCL as prize money, 15 are being given to the professional, 15 lakhs are being given to the professional cyclists. The amateur cyclists have got the amateur cyclists, as in those on hybrid or road cycles, have got 12.6 lakhs, and those who are on MTB have got a prize fund of total of 6 lakhs. There are prize money for different age categories as well, categories between 18 and 30 years, 30 and 40 years, and 40 and 50 years, and 50 plus years for both the amateur races in on the hybrid bicycles and on the MTB. A good amount of money being earmarked by HCL, but money is not the only source of inspiration for a number of them.
we can see a lot of cyclists for this category who are just waiting to start.
Even for the green ride, Lubna, very happily the organizers have made a number of cycles available on rent. 15 kilometers effort that they've got to put in for the green ride. I think it's just beautiful. This is truly the spirit of sport, of being able to participate, of being able to take part in an event at the highest level in your city. Look at the number of cyclists waiting there to get off on the green ride. It tells you of the messaging that is going about, the right messaging that has gone about. Great shot from the drone to show us that there are hundreds of these cyclists waiting for to take off on the green ride. In fact, at the last count, there were more than 1100, 1,100 riders who had registered for the green ride as of yesterday afternoon.
Which is a huge number.
Truly remarkable to show that number of people have taken to cycling as a sport and as a way of life.
I agree on that, which is truly a big number because in previous edition this was a total number of cyclists registered for this thing, and this time we have only in one category.
People have come in all the way from Bhimavaram and Andhra Pradesh, not just people in Chennai. There's so many of them who have come in from outside of Chennai as well. There are people from Hosur in Karnataka, people from Kanchipuram district, the neighborhood, not very far from Chennai, of course, and there's so many others who are coming in from other parts of the country as well. The green ride is something that all of us look forward to because it tells you of the state of sport, of how it has grown, of how uh, it is engaging people into accepting it as a way of life. It's really remarkable.
Actually, this is the category where we see how more and more number of common people are coming up for this kind of an event. And being a part of HCL Cyclothon for them also is an achievement, being just part of it, showing up and completing it. So, and then, getting into a habit of cycling regularly hereafter and in future, because these events motivate them a lot, and for next upcoming event then they're excited for enrolling next year in next edition. This is a trail.
It's very important that it's not just Chennai riders. Like I keep saying, people from other parts of Tamil Nadu, Kalakurchi, for example, have all come in and were signing up from the neighborhood Kanchipuram. And there's someone from Saharanpur as well, from Uttar Pradesh. So it tells you of how cyclothons are catching up, and especially what HCL has done. For someone to travel all the way from Saharanpur to compete in an event, to take part in a green event, there's no prize money here. To take part in a green event and to celebrate the joy of effort, I think it's truly remarkable. I mean, Uttar Pradesh is not very close to Tamil Nadu. I can understand people from Karnataka and Andhra getting there, but to see someone from Uttar Pradesh sign up and join the fun and take part in the celebration is truly remarkable. It tells you how far cycling has come in this country, the kind of awareness that an event like the HCL Cyclothon has created in popularizing cycling as a sport.
And how seriously people are taking it.
There's somebody from Agra as well. I can see that there's a rider from Agra. Again, not next door to Tamil Nadu, but all the way from Saharanpur and Agra. It's truly remarkable. I think it speaks volumes of where HCL Cyclothon has reached. It speaks volumes of the awareness of people in the country of events that are taking place around the country, and to be part of a cyclothon hundreds and thousands of miles, 1,000 miles away from your own home is truly creditable. Also praiseworthy of people moving such long distances to go out and play sport of their choice.
It is indeed.
Now, the beauty is that it's going to be very hard to figure out where the cyclist from Agra is in that bunch, or where the cyclist from Saharanpur or Bhimavaram or Kanchipuram is, but they're all united by the fact that they are in it for the joy of it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But 15 kilometers, that will bring them all together, and that will separate them as well. It's going to be truly fun. People from Anakapalli, people from Bhimavaram, people from Hosur in Karnataka. I mean, so many states coming together and celebrating the magic of cycling. I think more than the competitive events, over 55 kilometers for professionals and amateurs, and 24 kilometers for MTB bikes and for road bikes. This is truly the hallmark of HCL Cyclothon. It tells you that cyclothons are catching up. It tells you that more and more people are enjoying the sport of cycling and ensuring that they inspire so many others to come and take part in events like this.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I can see people are excited, they're cheering each other as well. And they may start any moment now for the last category for the day. And I assume the category with the maximum number of participants they've started.
1,100 plus cyclists setting off. Even they have got the 3 kilometers as the neutral zone. Obviously, they're not competing for prize money. They're competing for their pride, competing for their joy, and when it is shared with others, it multiplies so many times.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
You,
this is another, I must say, great bonding activity, and not categorizing people in some speeds, in some distances. So I think this is one of the most beautiful categories of the event.
I think the whole purpose of a cyclothon is to encourage more and more people to participate. And when you're not sure that you can compete with the best, and when you're not armed yourself with competitive skills, you probably just want to just go out there and participate. And this is a great way of doing that. 142 amateur riders have completed the 55-kilometer course.
Oh,
There are
lovely.
many more still on the road. As you can see on the left of your screen, they're still
Yes,
finishing in.
they're coming
And
back.
when it comes to hybrid and road cycles, as many as what's the number? As many as 179 of them have finished the course. And on MTB bikes, at this point of time, I think more than 100 have finished the course. There's still some on the way, but the 15-kilometer green ride is on. As I pointed out, nearly 82 of them have finished the course on their MTB bikes, the 24-kilometer event. But this is truly the lifeline of sport. The green ride encourages people to understand that if you can use less carbon fuel and put in your own energy in moving from point A to point B on a bicycle, you probably are saving planet Earth just that bit.
Absolutely. Even the shortest of a bit when we give to reducing our carbon print, that is a major thing which we can give to the Mother Earth and to the environment.
I,
That is a major
I think
contribution
that's the
from us.
message that each of these 1,100 plus riders is conveying to all of us, that cycling is a beautiful way of commuting. It's a great way of finding the right parameters for health, of ensuring that you're fit, and ensuring that you're contributing to the world becoming a better place. You can see the camaraderie there. People have already got their phones on and they're recording the process of getting off at the start line. There is great joy. You will probably not find the competitive cyclists enjoy an event as much. Their joys are different. Their definition of joy may be different. But the green ride cyclists, they define joy in a very different way and ensure
Absolutely.
that they transmit it to people. They share their own emotions quite spontaneously. You can see a number of them are holding up their cell phone cameras and ensuring that they capture this moment for posterity.
Absolutely, absolutely. And posting these videos is again one of the achievements. I must say, as a cyclist, we do that. Even posting these videos is one of the achievements on our social media accounts.
So it's one way of spreading the message of reducing carbon footprint. It's one way of telling people that it's important to celebrate the simplest of machines that we know, the cycle, and to ensure that more and more people accept it as a way of life, as a way of sport, as a way of health as well.
Agreed, absolutely. So more and more people are getting into this healthy habit, and I really wish they retain and then they stay into it for a longer time, and more people come into this.
Oh, that's an ocean of yellow there on the ECR. The iconic ECR is awash with yellow. It's beautiful to see that. Already having conversations. There's phones being handed over, people clicking for the others. It's beautiful to watch. Well, they spot a drone and they're having a conversation with the drone as well. They're able to see all of that. Terrific effort from all of them. They've just about started, set off on the course of 15 kilometers. But you know that by showing up here, by not fighting for prize money, by doing the right things, wearing helmets and the right gear and picking up the best bike they can, they've all shown that they can contribute meaningfully to our society becoming a better one by with our country leading the way. A lot of young population we've got, the largest human population who are between 19 and 25 years of age. I think it is truly inspirational to see what Chennai has done today. 1,000 plus taking part in this green ride.
Absolutely, sir. And in the times today when we see a lot of climate changes all around and extreme conditions of the climate world over, it is really a high time we should get into such habits which reduces the carbon prints into the environment. And that is something which we can give in return to Mother Earth and to the nature. So I really wish more and more people opt for cycling as a hobby and as a commute as well. I really wish to see those days.
This is the spirit of sportsmanship, the sporting spirit that we keep talking about, of friendship, respect, and excellence, the Olympic values that each of these amateur riders is showcasing. There's a great joy in that. Of course, there's a mix of colors sometime, but it is truly yellow out there on the road today. You can have conversations, inspiring each other, setting goals while you're out on the road.
And much relaxed and happy. I can see a lot of happy faces, smiling faces, and no pressure of any timelines, any speed. They're just enjoying the rides.
I think it's beautiful to see the number of bikes, the number of riders at the HCL Cyclothon's green ride over 15 kilometers. Culmination of a beautiful day where we saw 55 kilometers race for professionals, 55-kilometer race for amateurs, and two races over 24 kilometers for hybrid and road bikes as well as for the MTB bikes. And now the culmination in the form of a green ride, which is showcasing how beautiful Chennai is, how it has embraced the HCL Cyclothon. I think the Tamil Nadu government will be pleased at the numbers that have come out for the kind of support that the government has put in. This is great reward as well. The Sport Development Authority of Tamil Nadu will also celebrate the fact that a number of these green riders have come along, and the Tamil Nadu police will find satisfaction in having laid out the best possible support system in the three districts of Chennai, Tambaram, and Chengalpet to ensure that the roads are safe. They will know that they have been rewarded by more than 1,100 riders showing up for the green ride. This is the true messaging of an event of HCL Cyclothon's nature. This is the true message that cycles are a beautiful way of commuting and a beautiful way of staying healthy.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. And in the first place, we really must thank HCL to take this initiative and creating this event. And we really wish it trails over the years, upcoming years, and we see more and more people in more and more states across country.
I'm sure it's going to catch up, Lumna, because we already have the Hyderabad event lined up, the third city after Noida and Chennai to embrace HCL Cyclothon. I'm told the Chief Minister of Telangana, Revant Reddy, has already backed the event big time. He's agreed to flag off the event on the 15th of December. I'm sure Hyderabad will also show up in plenty of numbers. Registrations are open on the HCL Cyclothon website. I'm sure you will see more and more cities, and as you pointed out a short while ago, tier 2 cities as well taking up cycling and welcoming the HCL Cyclothon to their own towns. This is a lovely way to spend a Sunday with friends and with the possibility of making new friends as well, and spreading the message of good health through the green ride of 15 kilometers.
Absolutely. So many happy faces enjoying the cycling on a Sunday morning.
But I think we must encourage everyone to be wearing the helmet rather than dangling it on the handlebar. It's very important to be
Absolutely.
safe, even though you're taking part in an event which is at a very relaxed pace. It's critical to ensure that you protect yourself with the right equipment.
Yes, that I agree on you on that with that, sir. And I really must tell people if I can on this platform. Safety while cycling is very important. Being a cyclist or being a car driver on the road. So we as a cyclist also we must carry out all the safety gears including helmets, safety glasses, safety shoes and everything. And because it is for our own safety.
I think the joy of being able to cycle on a traffic free road is a very rare experience, and each of them is making the most of it. Each of them is celebrating the fact that the Tamil Nadu government and the Sport Development Authority of Tamil Nadu and the police of the three districts of Chennai, Tambaram, and Chengalpet have come together to ensure traffic free dual carriageway on the ECR, the iconic location. Beautiful city of Chennai, lovely location for biking. Uh, the message here is that they want to soak in every moment of it as magical as it can get.
The sun has come up as well. The road looks nicely sunny.
I think many riders have experienced the fact that they are out. They can be out on very very humid and hot conditions as well. They sometimes train for this. Not so much the green riders because they're probably all regular office goers who might indulge in cycling in very early hours where there's not much traffic and where the heat and humidity is not so challenging. But the green ride, they're very clearly they're out there to enjoy themselves and have a good time. This is the last of the green riders, I would reckon.
Seems like
Not
yes.
really concerned about the positions, but out there to have a good time.
And enjoying the event, yes. And a free road to ride. Traffic free road.
I think the citizens sometimes can't wait to get on as well with life. But credit to Chennai, credit to the residents on the ECR for being patient, for being wonderful supporters of the sport, for not impinging on the free space that the cyclists have been given today.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This bunch was waiting on the side to be the last, I guess.
I
Uh,
guess so.
they want to find out how beautiful it can be to be at the end of the tail end of an event and celebrate it, be the last ones to be finishing the course. Meanwhile, many of the riders who have been on the 24-kilometer competitive events have got it. They're still finishing the race. More and more of them are completing the race. The 140 professionals would have obviously cleared, would have finished a long time ago. But when it comes to the amateur riders, the so-called amateur riders, many of them are professionals now in terms of being regular on their bikes, being professional with their approach. They might not be CFI registered cyclists, but they probably are competitive cyclists as well. 204 of them have finished the 55-kilometer race. Kavish, Neil, and Rajan being the top three. In the 25 kilometers race for road and hybrid cycles, as many as 207 have completed the course, with people like Sheikh Bashir, Rajesh Jadhav, and Santosh taking the top three spots. These are provisional results that we are announcing. Mohammad Ismail, Dhananjay, and Ayush Negi are among the top three, among those who have finished, 126 of them who have finished the 24-kilometer MTB cycle race. Great effort from them all. Number of them have finished the course. More are still on the road. As you can see, the yellow jerseys in the background coming into the finish, not having the energy to try and do a sprint finish. Just happy to be able to just complete the course.
Agreed on that. So again, they're enjoying and easily coming to the finish line. For them, award is to finish.
They'll probably get back, hydrate themselves, spend a day recovering from the rigors of the effort, but they can pat themselves on the back for having done a good job of completing the distance, whether it's 55 kilometers or 24. They've done a fantastic job of completing the distance, and they will have to spend some part of the day in recovery, ensuring that they don't have cramped muscles, do the right kind of stretching exercises, ensure that they're hydrating well, and their nutrition is taken care of to ensure that they remain injury free.
Actually, yes, that is again another important aspect after finishing, which is first giving your body a proper rest, a proper recovery, and a proper nutrition after a long ride.
Truly remarkable day out in Chennai on the ECR, the road that connects Chennai city to Mahabalipuram, the iconic location where there is the Shore Temple. Beautiful road that has come up pretty recently and connects the IT hub just outside Chennai. Plenty of It's got a very cosmopolitan look there, the city. And what HCL has done is picked a beautiful location to be able to showcase Chennai and the beauty of cycling at the same time.
Indeed, indeed, sir.
Not very easy organizing events like this. Calls for a lot of effort. I know the race director Abhishek Mishra has put in plenty of effort, done plenty of recase, had meetings with the Tamil Nadu government. HCL, of course, has supported him in ensuring the best of logistics for him so that they get the best track, the best road course they can in Chennai. So that 55 kilometers and 25-kilometer courses are laid out and they're able to deliver a high quality event. Also, once more to thank the government of Tamil Nadu, the Sport Development Authority of Tamil Nadu, and the police of the three districts of Chennai, Tambaram, and Chengalpet, as well as the Cycling Federation of India for the support that each of them has lent to the success of this event. Mayajal Multiplex, the venue partner, the bike partner Just Buy Cycles, medical partner HCL Healthcare, media partner ABP Network, and the sports science and medicine partners Sri Ramchandra Center for Sports Science, as well as the Tamil Nadu Cycling Association and Akshay Kalpa Organic as the organic refreshment partner. Each has done its bit to ensure that this is a beautiful day for cyclists and we can celebrate cycling as a sport. Lubna, I'm sure the energy of the cyclists is being transmitted to the studio as well.
It is, it is. I really must pick up my cycle tomorrow morning and go out for a ride.
This is inspirational. What each of them has done today is remarkable. It is not just showing up today. You know, they've put in a lot of effort over a number of weeks to prepare for this event. Uh, they've all looked forward to competing here. Those who have competed in the 55-kilometer race and the 25-kilometer race, each of them has put in a lot of time in preparation for the event. And the big day is here, and all of them have delivered the best performance that they can.
Agreed. I totally agree on that for all the categories and the biggest enthusiasm for the last one category. and yes, it's been a great morning today. All thanks to HCL for organizing this event with all the effort, as you said, with the various departments and partners taking all the efforts to get the roads cleared, government with the government and police departments.
Take a moment to just discuss what Kavish did in the 55 kilometers amateur race. He wasn't first at any point of time until he got to the finish line. At the 48-kilometer mark, he was still lying 11th, but he was able to muster a good sprint finish in the end, and he finished first. I think great effort from him. He was 11th at the 48-kilometer mark. Fourth earlier, good effort from him in the end to ensure that he would finish first in that in the overall category in the 55-kilometer race. Neil was pretty consistent. He was lying fourth much of the time, and then finished second in the end. Whereas Rajan Smith was somebody who was 14th in the 48-kilometer mark, and over the last 7 kilometers, he was able to rise to the third position. Unfortunately, we're not able to bring the winners of the women's events to you in the amateur category. We'll wait for word from Chennai, word from the course masters, from the judges to tell us the results of the individual events for women and for the age group categories as well across the three different races that we've seen. Beside the professional race for men and women, we'll have to wait for details of the winners of the prizes of different different event categories.
And we can see the routines have come back on the roads, the life has come back on the roads. As the cyclist number of cyclists is being reduced, people have moved towards the finish lines.
Good effort from the riders today. Hundreds of them finishing the course that they've chosen to compete in, whether it's the 55 kilometers or the 24 kilometer race. The distance that they've chosen, a number of them have been able to finish. More have finished than not been able to finish. I think it's great effort from them all in the end. See, some of them are cruising to the finish. They don't have the energy levels to pedal as well, but they've put in the effort. You know that they've been able to conserve their energies and get to the finish line.
Actually, it is more important to reach to the finish line, retaining the energy levels as well. In because sun has come up, it's the heat has been raised, and we can see
I
the
think it won't
normal.
be long before our cameras catch up with the green riders, the
Yeah, I
hundreds
think.
and hundreds of them. But until then, some of the sites that Chennai is all about. Super effort from the riders, super effort from the organizers as well to ensure that this has been an incident-free race. Not too many mishaps. Wonderful control of normal traffic on both the carriageways. Of course, slowly the traffic is reclaiming the space, but credit to the police for having kept them away for a good part of 4 hours since morning. A very important carriageway that connects to several important parts of the city. The southern part of Chennai itself, with Mahabalipuram and the IT hub just outside Chennai. I think it's a critical road, and for traffic to have been stopped is for so long is really praiseworthy.
Yes, and I think the Green Riders have come into the scene now.
Nice and relaxed space, sharing space now with the normal traffic that you would get to see. Of course, the buses and trucks have been still kept away. This is light vehicles that have been allowed to get back on the road.
Absolutely.
They're getting ready for the prize distribution
And
ceremony for
winner
the
announcement.
professionals.
Yes.
I can see Rajat Chandolia on the screen from the HCL
Okay.
group. One on the left with the specs, now gone to the background. Excitement there as everyone's awaiting the announcement of the prize winners. Abhishek Mishra now.
Cheering
With,
the
yeah.
cyclists.
Prize winners, Abhishek Mishra now. Great effort, and it is time for the rewards.
And announcing the name of the winners for various categories.
This is obviously at the Mayajal Cineplex, the holding area for before and after the event. The green riders, I guess, back on your
Yes,
screen while the presentation ceremony is on hold.
coming up for a completion.
To those of us who have joined us on the live stream of the HCL Cyclothon Chennai 2024, we must say we are grateful to you for the support you give. Your patronage for the sport is very critical because without your support, sport in this country is not going to go forward. So each of you has contributed. But yes, sometimes we need to step out, go out and start playing sport a little bit more so we become a good sporting country.
Absolutely.
The 55-kilometer race has taken its toll on number of riders. They have been a little slow on the slower side, but like we keep saying, they are able to do a good job.
So I think the female category prizes are given first, second, and third positions.
I can recognize Swasti, an Odisha cyclist who's represented India several times, finished the second runner-up. I have a feeling the winner is Chayanaka Gogoi. Great feeling it must be to be on the podium of a 55-kilometer professional race, to be picking up checks of 1.2 lakhs, 1 lakh and 80,000 rupees each to the top three finishers. Great effort that from them to pick up that prize, to have worked so hard over 55 kilometers and reap the rewards.
That certainly is a great feeling. Standing on the podium, yes, and being announced the winner. And prize is obviously a joyous thing always.
Come true. No matter who, when you write for yourself, you write for Chennai too. Wake up, change up, feel the flow. You write, they write, it's time to go. From HCL to ECR, the seed is alive. Feel the rush, Feel the drive with every battle, with every stride. HCL Cyclothon is here. It's a thrilling ride. Go!
That's the top three in the men's category. The professionals. Abhishek Mishra making the announcement of the names of the three winners. The prizes being given away to them all. Superb trophies that they will cherish for time. Lovely rewards for their work over 55 kilometers. Again, rich rewards for them. 80,000 rupees to the second runner-up, or finishing third. A lakh rupees to the second prize, and a lakh and 20 to the winner of the race. The prizes down to the 10th place, with the 10th place cyclist getting 15,000 rupees, both in the men and women's categories. A good chunk of the total prize money being earmarked for the professionals. Nearly half of the overall prize money has been given to the professionals. A total of 33.6 lakhs being kept aside as prize money by HCL. 15 lakhs for the professional elite race. The amateurs, of course, will come in and claim 12.6 lakhs for the 55-kilometer race, and for the 24 kilometers on the road bikes and the hybrid bikes. And there's a 6 lakh prize money for the MTB race. You can see officials of the Cycling Federation of India there. You could spot the chief coach VN Singh as we await the prizes for the next lot of riders. Prize money is one way of ensuring that India's elite cyclists have got something to look forward to and are able to feel motivated enough to give off their best in events like the HCL Cyclothon Chennai 2024.
Battles spinning, join the race. Chennai Makka cycle up the pace. Come one, come two. No matter who, when you ride for yourself, you ride for Chennai too. Go, 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 go. Wake up, change up, feel the flow. You ride, they ride, it's time to go. From HCL to ECR, the scene is alive. Feel the rush, feel the drive. With every battle, with every stride. HCL Cyclothon is here, it's a thrilling ride, go! energy. Hey, the chill. Cycling fever is finally here. Bad and harder. Push your limit. This is your race. Go out and win it, win it. Wake up, change up, feel the flow. You right, they right, it's time to go. Wake up. Better spin it, join the race. Chennai muckers like a lock the base. Come one, come two. No matter who, when you write for yourself, you write for Chennai too. Go, 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 go. Wake up, change up, feel the flow. You right, they right, it's time to go. From NGR to ECR, the scene is alive. Feel the rush, feel the drive. With every battle, with every stride. HCL Cyclothon is here, it's the thrilling ride, go! Wake up, change up, feel the flow. You right, they right.
Back to the road where you get to see the green riders still enjoying their day out in the sun, having a good stroll there. We're back with the prize ceremony. Some of them getting to experience the course on which the professionals and the amateurs who are competing for prizes were on. They're able to experience the slight undulations and the elevation gain that they have to make, challenges the thigh muscles and the calf muscles. Of course, the back is also under some stress, so they're able to experience it, and probably they will come back and start competing in the HCL Cyclothon, the next edition. They get an experience of what it is to be on the road and to be giving off their best. But the Green Riders are true champions in every sense of the word, because they are the ones who are spreading the message of reducing the carbon footprint by using bikes as a way of commuting. It's so very easy to see the joy on each of their faces, so very easy to experience the energies that they're expending on the road today. As bikes of their choice, they're able to try and get to the 15 kilometers in as little time as is possible, and in some cases in as much time as is possible, because they just want to enjoy the feeling of being in a competitive space without being competitors. I think it's critical that they are able to showcase the joy of effort to each one of us who's watching the stream, and the experience the magic of being able to spend some time on the road. About an hour they get to do the 15 kilometers. As The winners of the 55 kilometers amateur road race being felicitated on the podium. Three of them were able to showcase and earn rewards for their efforts today.
So again, being winner and acing the category is a great achievement. We can see the happy faces of the winners and congratulating others to finish it, the event and participation. Proudly showcasing their trophies. We can see the happy faces.
These are winners as well, Lubna.
Yes, so these are the winners who
They
are,
might not be having prize checks to show for, but these are winners in their own right.
and as they will reach the finish line, they will accomplish the achievement. It will be in addition to their accomplishments. So we can see the happy faces of the winners of the amateurs 24 kilometers race, and the real winners still coming to the finish point with a easy peasy pace and happy, in their own way to reaching and to nearing the completion point, the finishing point. The biggest category of the day, having the maximum number of participants. The green riders. We can also see the day-to-day life has also started on the roads, and the cyclists being safe on the side are heading towards the finish line.
Also, we get a sense of the challenges that cyclists face on a regular basis with traffic resuming.
Yes, sir. This is somewhat what we experience on a day-to-day basis when we normally ride on the roads. We have to be very careful as well, because early in the morning when we start at around 5:30 a.m., there are a few cars which are like on a higher speed for some reason, I don't know why. but we really have to be very careful. And as the day comes up, the normal traffic starts to move on the roads, and it have all kind of vehicles and drivers, so we really have to be careful. And being the cyclists also, we should obey all the traffic rules as well, meant for the cyclists. Yet so many green riders nearing to the finish line. As they are more excited to complete the race and giving away the award for another category with their award checks. For the 24 kilometers male amateur category, first and second runner-up and the winner.
Typical daily life, ambulance as well coming in, cyclists making way for the ambulance. You can sense the challenge that cyclists have to face on a daily basis. You can see truck traffic has started as well, but these are green riders who are probably used to riding in such conditions. also important for us to thank the government of Tamil Nadu, the Sport Development Authority of Tamil Nadu, and the police of the three districts of Chennai, Tambaram, and Chengalpet. Both the
Mute.
Maybe let's check.
No, it's not.
We draw to the end of the presentation ceremony. Of course, there will be prizes that will be handed out to many people. Truly remarkable event. Time to thank the Tamil Nadu government one more time, as well as the Sport Development Authority of Tamil Nadu and the police of three districts: Chennai, Chengalpet, and Tambaram. But as I've been saying, Lubna, it doesn't need an international cyclist to sit in the studio and share knowledge. As a cyclist, you've been of immense value, sharing your insights into the sport of cycling.
That was absolutely my pleasure, sir, to be here to present this event with you. This very graceful event, and I really enjoyed the energies on the ground here in the studio. And it was a great pleasure, great experience, and learning these categorical cyclists and learn. And I was more than happy to see them receiving awards. And even these green riders, I'm more than even happy to see them nearing the finish line, despite of the sun totally up their heads, traffic back on the roads, but they're still full of enthusiasm and moving ahead towards the finish line without any motivation of any prize money or anything. Just finishing the event is their great
I
motivation.
think all of this will encourage HCL to venture into doing more cyclothons around the country. Uh, it's grown from the time that Noida hosted the first event in 2023 with just 1,300 cyclists. It's grown to it doubled, nearly doubled the last time. And similarly in Chennai, it's grown from over 1,000 cyclists the last time to more than 2,000 cyclists now. I think the success of such events will encourage even corporate like HCL to invest more time and energy in promoting the sport of cycling and a sustainable lifestyle for all of us.
Absolutely, and we must really thank all the back-end workers who took all the efforts and to the great management of organizing this event, along with the major authorities and organization. But yes, all the forces behind organizing, micromanaging, and on the ground managing things. We really must thank that team as well.
But I think overall, we must also not forget the support and cooperation of the people of Chennai, especially the residents along the ECR. They have been wonderful support. They have understood the importance of the event and uncomplainingly supported the HCL Cyclothon. I'm sure they will look forward to seeing more cyclists on the road in the years to come, because this is how the sport will grow. This is how it will take root in a place, and the place starts owning the event. I'm sure the ECR road in Chennai has started.
Many more to come, sure, regularly.
So many happy souls, thousands of them having spent the morning out of their homes in Chennai, having to get to Mayajal complex well ahead of their reporting time, warming up and being out on the road and transforming their energies onto their pedals and powering their way on the roads of ECR, and also inspiring so many other countless Indians to take to the sport, to start enjoying cycling as a way of life and as a way of health.
Absolutely. Such events, I'm sure, will spread the more and more awareness about the health consciousness, the benefits of cycling to the mankind, and yes, definitely its contribution to the nature.
team enjoy it a little bit more. I'm sure there are learnings for all of us, and we will go back wise people. But one more time, it's time to say thank you to the government of Tamil Nadu, the Sport Development Authority of Tamil Nadu, especially for having facilitated this event in Chennai,
Very smoothly.
and HCL, of course, for